it, Joker. It's over, Joker. Do you really think you can win?
Poor little bat.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Izzy's Retro Video Game Reviews. So, a little bit of a change of plans. I decided to switch things up. Instead of talking about NFL Blitz, which I originally planned, I'm gonna talk to you and take you back down memory lane to a game that is probably widely considered part one of the greatest trilogy in video game history, and I'm talking about Batman Arkham Asylum. And so, Batman Arkham Asylum came out in August of 2009, man, for the PS3, Xbox 360, and PC. And it used the Unreal 3 engine, which at the time was ahead of its time for its graphics. The gameplay, which was done by Eidos Montreal and WB Games and Rocksteady Studios, just was amazing, man. I mean, it was the perfect Batman game at the time, and then the other sequels, Batman Arkham Knight and Batman Arkham Asylum, which I'll cover in future episodes. They just took what Batman Arkham Asylum did and made it even better. If you could get any better, but apparently you could, because they did. Yeah, man. So what I remember is seeing a printout in an issue of Game Informer, and I'm like, wow, another Batman game. But something looked different about this Batman game. It wasn't, your typical, beat 'em up, Batman game like the ones like they had been in the years past. It was more of a strategy game. It wanted you to be Batman, and to be able to encompass the detective skills and the fear that Batman brings into all his foes. And Batman Arkham Asylum did that. I mean, you had the ability to take down opponents from any vantage point that you can get your hands on, and it just made for more unique ways to dispatch of your opponents, and rather than getting just going in there and just like going into a room full of opponents and just beating the shit out of them, and hey, that's the end of the level. No, it caused you to think, and the AI was very smart too. There were times where you would have to use detective mode, which is this mode that causes you to see, that allows you to see things clearer than you normally would, than just by looking at it regularly. For example, you might be able to see walls that you can use explosive gel on, or floor openings to get to a different part of the level that you may not be able to see, just by looking at the game regularly in regular mode. And some enemies will be armed with weapons and guns and everything. So that the detective mode made you look for a better vantage point to be able to take them down, and strategize in how you're going to deal with the room full of enemies, because later on in the game, not only did they have guns, they had things where where your detective mode could be traced, and they would find you whether or not you're in detective mode. So that added another layer of strategy to the game and how you're gonna deal with the enemies. It just everything about it was just great. And then you had the boss battles, man. What's a great Batman game without bosses? You had the Joker, you had Poison Ivy, you had Scarecrow, and you had uh, just a whole slew of bosses, man. And each boss battle presented its own set of challenges. Um, you know, for me, the hardest part was the Scarecrow nightmare scenarios. So you would be, for example, the very first one takes you when you're in the morgue. You're in the morgue, and the Scarecrow toxin, fear toxin, takes over you, and you gotta and you gotta complete the scenario to kind of shake that nightmare. And it's terrifying. Like, I've never seen, up until that point, I had never seen a that in a video game before. And and then what do you call it? And then there's three Scarecrow nightmare scenarios in the first game. So in the second nightmare scenario in the first game, you're in a version of Wayne Manor, and the game just starts glitching. No, that's the third one actually. You're in a version of Wayne Manor, and you're reliving the scene where the night that your parents were killed. And Scarecrow uses that to his advantage and takes you into his world again, and then you have to get out of it again. And then in the third one, like I said, you're back in the Arkham jail, which is back in Arkham Asylum, the jail part of it. And the game starts glitching. And then I remember thinking, when I first played it, man, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Why is the game glitching? And then I read online, don't be alarmed, that it's not a glitch. That's just how the scenario goes, and that turns out to be true. So yeah, it's just crazy. And then for Poison Ivy, you had your she uses plants to hurt, man, and so she's like in this giant pod, and you have to throw batarangs at the pod, and take down the giant plant. And then she has policemen under her control and stuff like that. So it's a whole. And the Joker, he uses a bit of Bane's toxic fumes, where Bane gets his strength from. I don't know. Oh, his serum. He uses a bit of Bane serum to inject himself, and that's the final boss battle. You battle a very, very beefed up version of Joker at Joker is a Playhouse. Spoiler alert. If you haven't played it by now, I don't know what to say. But what do you call it? Just a great game. And then also Killer Croc is in there. You have to escape his lair, and you can't, in his boss battle, you can't move too quickly, because if you move too quickly, he's gonna detect your movement, and he's gonna end up creeping up on you. And you're gonna, that kind of ends the battle if he catches you. So you gotta move very quietly, very discreetly. I just remember everything about it, man. And I still play it to this day, because in addition to releasing it on PS3, they also did an HD upgrade on PS4, the Return to Arkham collection, where they give you Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham City, both in HD, remastered for PS4. So I definitely went out and bought that, and play both of those games still to this day. Oh man, just everything about Arkham Asylum and is top notch, man. I think it got perfect scores all across the board, and if it didn't get a perfect score, it got a near perfect score. It deserves everything, because, like I said, that trilogy, the Arkham trilogy, was amazing, and you know, I hope that they do make another Batman game. If they don't, you know, just leave well enough alone. You know, Batman, Gotham Knights was pretty good too. I did a review on that. Uh, for PS5, which takes place after the Arkham series, after the events of the Arkham series. So I'll attach that one if you want to see that too. But definitely, if you have Batman Arkham Asylum, let me know what you think. And let's talk about it down in the comments, man. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this episode of Izzy React. This episode of Izzy's Retro Video Game Reviews. I am all over today. Izzy's Retro Video Game Reviews. Like, subscribe, share. Don't forget to hit that notification button so you don't miss a video. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.